and swept in the playoffs. Winless in the playoffs, done. If you have the Arizona Diamondbacks on your bingo card, good for you, because you don't have a whole lot of company on your bandwagon. Good morning. The bandwagon is getting bigger. Phoenix, Arizona, the Southwest, desert rats everywhere, rejoice. The Diamondbacks have swept the Dodgers. They are in the National League Championship Series, and the Dodgers are done. Good morning to you. Merry Thursday. It is the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal. Jeff Sabieta, JJ Buck, DC. Look, this is a Dodger town. It's always been a Dodger town. And I think people are stunned. Listening to Dave Robertson, Mookie Betts, and those guys talk after Mookie Betts didn't get a hit in the series. Just not even stunned as much that they lose. They were dominated by the Diamondbacks, who had to struggle the last day of the season to get in the playoffs.
Baseball is the cruelest postseason there is.
It is.
We, sometimes in hockey, see a team go on a run from being the 8th seed. There's a new dynamic with the play-in tournament in the NBA. But baseball is always off the wall. And 3 100-win teams don't reach the league championship series.
Orioles are out. Yep.
Potentially, it could be the Braves.
And the Braves aren't out yet.
But because Phillies, 2 of the 3.
Yeah.
Because Philadelphia is looking fantastic. And Bryce Harper just playing unbelievable, showing superstars stepping up in the postseason. And if you look at the Dodgers, so many people are going to be screaming about Dave Roberts. There's nothing on the manager. There's the pitching staff and your star players disappeared.
Dave Roberts didn't give up 6 runs in a third of an inning. Dave Roberts didn't go 0 for 11. Because you're right. I'm hearing it. My text thread goes nuts. What's Roberts doing? Why is he swinging at the first pitch? Come on, Roberts. Put on the take sign. Their stars did not show up. Freddie Freeman didn't show up. Mookie Betts didn't. Go up and down the line. Will Smith had a couple of 3 hits.
Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman, this isn't Little League.
Yeah.
You're not dictating every swing.
I know. This is amazing to me. And I don't want to do this without giving the Diamondbacks credit. And just because I tell you this all the time, just because you haven't heard of something doesn't mean it's really good. Things can be good and wow, you just discover them. And that's cool. I hear people, I haven't even heard of these guys. Well, because you haven't been watching. Right? Geraldo Perdomo is good. Ketel Marte is good. Christian Walker is good. Gabriel Moreno is good. They dominated them. What Torrey did with that team.
Well, and that's another thing. How much, if we're going to credit, we're going to give a manager.
Yeah.
The guy's just hitting.
Yeah.
Versus saying Dave Roberts.
Not as much hitting. No. I mean, Torrey didn't get a base hit. But what? There's a belief, right? Dave Roberts didn't need to make the Dodgers believe necessarily going in. Torrey made these guys believe they can win. They went to they've swept 2 division champions. They've swept Milwaukee on the road. They swept the Dodgers 2 at their place, and then came home and beat them for a third. No, I'm not
what they did in the postseason. It was off the wall. They were kind of a middle of the pack home run hitting team, and that wasn't the case in the playoffs.
They just got 4 in an inning
ridiculously hot. 4 solo shots in an inning.
Batting practice in the 3rd inning yesterday. It was like home run freaking derby. It was batting practice yesterday.
And if you're the Dodgers, I get it. It's easy to do. You just scream about Dave Roberts. He's not the problem.
Lance Lynn was the problem yesterday.
They were a depleted pitching staff at the end of the season.
Yeah. Oh, this one's crazy. All right, we got so much to do today, and it's a football Thursday coming off a Wednesday night lights down on Cruces. Aggies were winners last night, 27-13, beat Sam Houston. Aggies are 4-3. Next up, they get UTEP next weekday. What is it? Wednesday, Thursday night next week. Then Louisiana Tech. And they're in the midst of putting together a nice season. They may rue that Hawaii the Hawaii game, so it may come back and get them. But they look good they look not good in the first half yesterday. They looked really good in the first half yesterday.
Great.
Yeah, against the Sam Houston team that wasn't giving up points. And then Sam Houston shut them down completely in the second half, but they had built a 27-0 halftime lead, which was enough to hold off the Bearcats with a K. 58 yards in the second half for New Mexico State, but they win 27-13. Diego Pavia, 20 of 36 in the air for 286 yards, 2 touchdowns, did not throw an interception. Another 115 yards rushing and a touchdown. And in CBS Sports, they still do you get the feeling these guys just like, hey, you guys got to go to Las Cruces and do a Wednesday game, and these guys are like, whatever, they show up, read the notes, because in the fourth quarter, their analyst was still calling him Pavella. I'm sorry, Pavella.
He was struggling.
Oh, come on, man, a little prep. I know how you prep for games. Am I too critical on these guys? Because it's 2 weeks in a row.
No,
it felt like these guys just didn't.
If it's multiple times, you would hope someone would get in his ear and feel like, hey, clean it up.
It's really not that hard. I mean, it really isn't if you give a damn. It's not like his name is one of these Polynesian names on the San Jose State depth chart. What?
Let's spend some time practicing those.
Yes. I'm working on them, man. Big win. 505-246-0610 is how to get here today.
It's a pressure they're generating on the quarterback. Now, they didn't have a sack in this game, but 8 quarterback hits, 5 tackles for loss. That's the difference for New Mexico State this season, is their defense is able to
especially
create
the
pressure.
front, yeah.
They got Sam Houston off the field in the first half, and now they hit a brick wall in the second half offensively. But you're up 27-0. You're flying around the football field. That's why you can look at this team and go, I think they get to 7.
Do you think they're going to get to 7 wins? So you think they're a bowl eligible team? You figure they're better than UTEP, who won last night. UTEP beat that FIU team that the Aggies beat. They went on the road and did it in Florida. They get if they can beat UTEP next week, they're at 5. Louisiana Tech is beatable, right? Mm-hmm. And so they'd be at 6-3, needing one more with Middle Tennessee, Western. Middle's beatable now. I mean, I looked at it. Middle's eminently beatable. Western Kentucky's probably the best. Well, the second best team in their league, next to Liberty. Then they got to go to Auburn. And look, I don't know. Maybe Jacksonville State's the second best team in the league. That's where they closed the season at home with Rich Rod's
New Mexico
team.
State,
and it could be New Mexico State. Yeah, there's they're kind of like the Lobos in a lot of respects. Every game they can win, every game they can lose, except for the Auburn game, right? Western Kentucky might be better than them, right? But other than that, I mean, is there anybody else you say? I mean, Middle Tennessee's not that much better than them. I wouldn't even tell you I think they are better than them right now.
So what New Mexico State has done defensively, just how fast they are, they're getting to the quarterback. What the turnovers we saw them create last week, they shut Sam Houston State down on third down. They forced a lot of third and long situations, and still your offense hit a brick wall in the second half. But you still only give 13 points in a football game.
Yeah. And you scored the 27. And Jerry Kill will be with us tomorrow morning at 7:15. We'll talk to him about it, what happened in the second half, what he saw, maybe what Sam Houston did. I'm not going to lie to you. I was really surprised that they were running through them in the first half like that. I had seen Sam Houston play, but I read, look, any team that held Air Force to 13 points.
You got to take notice.
Yeah, held BYU to 14 points. You look at it and just go, okay, I watched Air Force. I was in person last week. 2 weeks ago, whenever the hell it was. Feels like yesterday, but it feels like 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I watched them put 49 on San Diego State. A team that you always think about defense. Now, granted, this isn't one of the good San Diego State teams. But I'd like to believe San Diego State's better than Sam Houston, right? We'd like to believe that.
I'd like to believe that.
Air Force put 49 on them, scored 13 on this team, and the Aggies ran up and down the field on them in the first half. So if you want to get in on the Aggies win, you can. Here's your guest list, and I encourage you, if you can, be with us. If not, it'll all be available for you wherever it is you get your podcasts. It'll be available for you on sportsantlabq.com. You just go there, click on the opening drive, and it's all there. Coming up at 8 o'clock, Lobo linebacker Sair Riley's going to be with us. He is Lobos are getting set to take on San Jose State. Now, not only is he starting linebacker, JJ, he has UNM's first student-run podcast, the Science Sky Show, with, as you know, with himself and soccer player Sky McMillan. So I'm looking forward to catch up with Sair, who probably is going to have our job here within, a couple of days. No, once the season's over, so we'll probably get through the season. So we'll do that coming up at 8. And looking forward to talking to them about the bye week, how they feel about getting ready for San Jose State and what's in front of them. And then 8:30, Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, will be with us, and we'll look back at the week that was and look ahead at that gigantic Oregon, or as my mom says, Oregon, Washington game. How big is that, dude? How
Some might say it's huge.
I can't tell you how. Every time I think about it, I get more and more bummed that the Pac-12 is breaking up. And as a guy who grew up in the Pac-12, and my background, right, with West Coast football and basketball, watching what they are, they have never been this good, and they've been good, but Washington, Oregon, Utah, SC are really good.
It's the deepest it's been.
You've got the Arizona's so much better than anybody wants to give them credit for. Oregon State's really good. You've got the Colorado story. UCLA is good. Washington State is really good. Like there's not a bad team. Arizona State's probably the worst team in the league, and they gave Colorado all they wanted the other day.
Stanford's not great.
All right, Stanford's not great. I'll give you that one. Yeah.
That's why they have to go to the ACC with Cal.
All right, Stanford.
But it's not just the depth, but it's the ability to top the conference to have multiple potential playoff contenders. It's always been there's one really hot team, USC, maybe Washington, but then they get beat and then they're out of the conversation, and that's not the case this season.
Yeah. It just I don't know, man. Just I look at it and it bums me out so much because you grew up with something. There's so much tradition, the Conference of Champions, and now that they're probably as good as they've ever been, they're going to splinter and there'll be no more. All right, when we come back, it is game night for your Denver Broncos and Kansas City Chiefs. I know, it's uncomfortable, you and the rest of your Denver Bronco fans. But maybe you get a break. Travis Kelce injury update and other big stuff in the NFL injury updates as you get ready to set your fantasy lineups and all of that stuff. Big news in the National Football League, and is a big quarterback on the move. A big-name quarterback. Would he waive his no-trade clause? It's the opening drive. Thanks for being with us. Merry Thursday. It's 95.9 FM. And AM 610, the sports animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Sports Animal.
Aggies winners last night, 27-13 over Sam Houston. They are 2-1 in Conference USA, 4-3 overall. Next up, they go to the road, kind of down the road, get on a bus and take the long trip all the way to that West Texas town of El Paso, renew the rivalry with the Miners. That's next week. And on their way now, that's a big one. If they get to 5, remember they need 7 to be bowl eligible. But they're in the thick now of the Conference USA race. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck, and D.C. It is game day for your Denver Broncos. Broncos and Kansas City Chiefs tonight. The spread is stayed at 10.5. The game is in Arrowhead in Missouri, not in Kansas. In Missouri, people really have problems struggling, wrapping their arms or their head around. It's not in Kansas? Then why do they? I don't know why they call it. Somebody will know why they call it Kansas City and it's in Missouri. But there's like Missouri City, Texas, and there, right? There's Indiana, Pennsylvania. I mean, there's just that's real. Travis Kelce is the star tight end of the Broncos. And DC, you and I were having this conversation when we were going over the show this morning. So Travis Kelce is listed as questionable, and they're saying, and you probably know more than I do, they're saying that he may play, but it may be limited. And your point is they're playing Denver. Do they need him? They've got the mini bye after this, right? Because they're playing on Thursday. They got the long week. Do you need Travis Kelce? And I guess, JJ, the other side of this is it's not like your offense has just been so insanely dominant without him. So what do you do with Travis Kelce today?
To me, that's all in the individual.
Well, he'll want to play.
Yeah, you get feedback from Travis Kelce. I understand the adrenaline. You're getting the shot after the little ankle sprain. If it's not of a high ankle variety, you tape it up. You do what you got to do, get down on the field. Even if it's a limited basis, I think Travis Kelce playing on what would be, I assume at this point, it's classified a low ankle sprain, would make sense if I'm Kansas City. Because you got the time on the back end. If he doesn't have to be a focal point, because Isaiah Pacheco could rush for 170 yards.
Could.
If they wanted him to tonight.
What do you do with him?
In terms of fantasy?
Well, no, in terms of playing him. I mean, then we'll get to fantasy stuff because, I mean, a lot of people are just going, all right, well, should I play him?
Yeah, JJ is absolutely right. I mean, you talk to the player and see where he's at. He was limited in practice this week.
This player will want to play.
This player will want to play. I'm going to let him dress out, and I'm going to kind of take it minute by minute. I'm certainly not going to risk the best tight end in the league on a 1-4 team, but he is a major part of that offense, and he is part of what makes it go. So if he says yes, and the doctors say yes, I'm letting him go. All
right, what are you doing fantasy wise? So they're telling you it's limited. He plays on Thursday. You got, whatever your options are, you probably got an option. In leagues that you don't have to play a tight end, where you flex it, I think you have more options. Like I'm literally sitting here looking at like him or Jordan Addison or something like that, or Zay Flowers. What do I do?
Play Addison or Flowers. In
Instead?
that case, if you're in a weird league where you don't have to play a tight end.
Yeah, I'm in a
But
weird
if you're in a
league
league where you have tight ends, you are playing Travis Kelce.
Yeah, well, there's nothing right. A gimpy Travis Kelce is probably better than anything you got. Backing up Travis Kelce at tight end
because he's gonna get a red zone target at some point in the game. Touchdown odds are still in his favor, even if he's limited in his snap count.
So I could play him. I got a running back, wide receiver, tight end flex that I can put Austin Eckler in there, Zay Flowers, or Jordan Addison.
Austin Eckler?
Well, yeah, because he's been out. So I've got Etienne and Kamara at running back.
Stacked. You're playing Austin Eckler
instead of Kelce, or because you just don't know if he's playing either. He's a Monday night dude.
The Monday night twist does.
See, he's a Monday. I got burned on that last week.
Especially when you get burned, it's hard to go back-to-back weeks with that same move.
Why can't they just play games on Sunday?
Then we wouldn't have Monday and Thursday night football.
I know. All right, so that's your deal there. As far as your injury report with for tonight. Also tonight, so as far as Enver is concerned, what do we got? Just a bunch of questionables, right? Frank Clark, their linebacker, is sick. DJ Jones and Baron Browning are they're all out, huh? And Greg Dulcich is questionable. All right. Anybody else I'm looking at? No, we're pretty good there. All right. Austin Eckler still leaning towards playing. He's saying he's 99%. The other big story now is becoming this Kirk Cousins story, is it not?
It is.
Kirk Cousins was asked. Do you have that soundbite by any chance? He was asked yesterday about it. Now here's the deal. They were 13-4 last year. They won their division. They are 1-4 this year. They get the Bears this week, then the Niners. And if they don't beat the Bears, they're going to be looking at 1-6. He is up after this year. The belief is if they were going to extend Kirk Cousins, they would have extended Kirk Cousins. That they're going to be done with him after this year anyway, right? And so Kirk Cousins was asked, is there any scenario which he would consider waiving the no-trade clause in his contract? Now, before we get to the answer, JJ, is a team, because this is where it gets really interesting, 6-7 games into a season, a team that would be looking to acquire Kirk Cousins, is this a rental for the rest of the season, a basketball, baseball kind of a trade? Or is this one where you got to give up a first and a fourth or a first and a third and extend Kirk Cousins and pay him long term? Because I don't know that I think he would waive his no-trade clause to go be a rental somewhere.
I don't see why. Well, you have the family piece to it.
Yeah.
Picking up everything mid-season and going somewhere. Now, if he believes a team that's calling that they could actually do something, because if you're calling to get Kirk Cousins, you say, all right, if we get Kirk Cousins,
we're making a run.
We can win a playoff game. Like, we're going to be a team that we feel like we're in that conversation.
And who is it?
And it's easy to say, yeah, acquire Kirk Cousins. But I also don't feel comfortable giving up a first-round pick.
I agree.
If I'm that team for what could potentially just be a quarterback rental for half a season. He'd be able to come in and pick up the offense. It'd be fine, because I know everyone's like, well, how do you learn an offense? Well, you look at these teams that sign a quarterback off the street and they're playing the next week. Like Kirk Cousins could absolutely come in and play and figure out an offense. And if this one is hard for me to wrap my head around.
I agree.
Of like, who would actually give up a first-round pick? But if it's interesting, because Kirk Cousins, being an older quarterback, but he's still a productive older quarterback, would a team like, say, the Atlanta Falcons?
It's the Falcons or the Jets, right?
But if you look at the Falcons, and if they were to give up a first-round pick or even a second-round pick for Kirk Cousins, you say, all right, we have Drake London, Bijan Robinson. These guys are still in their rookie deals. If we bring in Kirk Cousins and commit to him short-term, because, he's on the back end.
Short-term being just the rest of the season?
Well, no, understand that, hey, we
Give
get
him
him
2
in
years?
here and then have him for another year or two, negotiate a deal like that. That could be interesting, but an in-season quarterback of this caliber, I'm just finding it really hard of what avenue it's going to go down. And then some people are so adamant it is going to cost first-round pick.
Yeah, no, I hear that a lot. All right, here's what Kirk Cousins said when he was asked, is there any scenario in which you would consider waiving your no-trade clause and be traded this year?
I'm just very focused on the Bears and going 1-0 this week, and anything else is just not worth my time or energy or attention.
What he didn't say was no. What he did not say was no. And I'm sure he is focused on beating the Bears this week. Justin Jefferson is out, his best receiver, 4 to 8 weeks. What he didn't say was no. And this is the first time I'm kind of buying into, well, maybe there's some smoke here. Well, there's been smoke. Maybe there's some fire. But I just don't see a ton of scenarios. Is Tennessee a scenario? They got 3 damn quarterbacks there. They're not, right? Indianapolis' guy just got hurt. They like Minshew. Pittsburgh's sticking with their guy. Cleveland's paid their guy too much. I'm just looking at teams that are hovering and good rosters, shaky quarterback. Washington feels like they believe in Sam Howell. The Giants? But they're 1 in whatever, too. They're horrible.
If I'm trading a first-round pick for Kirk Cousins, I have to believe that I can sign him next season.
Well, that's the only way you do it.
I don't think it would make any sense for a team like the New York Jets who believe Aaron Rodgers is coming back. Actually watching Aaron Rodgers work this hard to rehab an Achilles injury, to give up a first-round pick just for Kirk Cousins this season, when I need that first-round pick for a left tackle next year.
I'm not giving up a first-round pick to rent a guy for 8 games. I don't think anybody's going to do that. Atlanta feels like the only team. I mean, do you see anything else that a team that feels like they're competing and might be? I mean, Tampa Bay's getting good play out of Baker. I don't know that I see the scenario, but it's out there, and there's a whole lot of talk about it. All right, 505-246-0610. Zaire Riley's going to be with us, Lobo linebacker, coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. Lobos in San Jose State. Got a cool little factoid for you when we come back on the Aggies after their win yesterday. And bleep them. That's what one of the 49ers said about the Cowboys. Why and what's that all about? I mean, you just beat them 42-10, but bleep them too? And maybe you think your neighborhood's safe from crime. Then a break-in happens way too close to home. Aaron Jones owns International Protective Service. It's IPS. You've seen their vehicles all around town. I've called them years ago. They patrol my home. If you can't watch your home or your business 24/7, let IPS be another set of eyes for you. They provide standing guards for 24-hour patrols with highly trained armed officers and will respond quickly to your alarm. When your alarm goes off, they're there within 7 minutes. The police are going to be there within a few hours. There's just not enough police. They're just overwhelmed. This is what IPS does. They concentrate completely on their clients' safety, homes and businesses, and keeping the bad guys away. It's another layer of security, and it's peace of mind. Private security that is affordable, and it will save you money. The number is 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. You can go online at ipsglobal.com. IPS, passionate about making Albuquerque a better and a safer place to live and work.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentering trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Are 4-3 overall. JJ, did you know it is the first time they've got 4 wins before October 12th since when? When was the last time Aggies had 4 wins before October 12th? Any idea?
Well, if you said since when?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
1965.
See, I'd have gone back there too. 1992. But 1992 is still 31 years ago. Is it not?
A long time ago.
What this is 23 plus 8 is 31, right? I mean, it's the Jerry Kill effect a little bit. But he's whatever he's doing, and he'll be with us tomorrow, and they're winning. And Diego Pavia or Pavella. I'm sorry, I hate ripping on announcers because it's a hard job, and I know it's a hard job, and it's probably bad karma, and I'm going to have a horrible broadcast on Saturday. But I don't know.
It's okay to be frustrated.
It feels like the guys the last 2 weeks that have come in, it almost felt like they were just unprepared, and it's like, I got to go do a Wednesday game in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Like, what did I do to get punished to have to do this? Right? You and I would kill for that. But you know what I'm saying? It just, fourth quarter, you've been saying Pavia all day. How are you still calling him Pavella? I'm just asking. Anyway, they were really good in the first half. Diego had 286 yards throwing with 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, another 115 on the ground on 15 carries and a touchdown. Dominant first half. Second half, they held on. 58 yards of total offense, and they win by 2 touchdowns, 27-13. By the way, what was the spread, 3.5?
It was.
Yeah. All right. Denver and Kansas City tonight. Make your call. Broncos are 10.5-point dogs. Do you feel differently on the number if Kelsey does not play tonight?
No.
So you're laying the 10.5.
This isn't just about Travis Kelce. It's also the fact that the Broncos can't tackle anyone that has a football in their hands. Well, the worst run defense in the league. Isaiah Pacheco is a solid running back.
He's been running, and he runs violent, man. He runs angry.
And it's a game. You look at the Chicago game, Kansas City and Chicago, and you look, and Isaiah Pacheco had 2 touchdowns, or it was McKinnon, and then Pacheco scored, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire scored. That could be the same exact thing tonight. Like, this is one of those moments, and I always I take this from you at times, Jeff. It's like, all right, there's an overwhelming push of this. What am I missing?
Yeah.
There's got to be something else on the other side, and I don't see that other side with the Broncos. I don't see it tonight.
No,
even in a division game in Kansas City, they're saying, "Hey, we understand that it's a division opponent, and we have to be ready because you never know what can happen." Well, I know what's happened the last 15 times these teams have played, and Kansas City's won the game.
Well,
this is the worst team Denver's fielded over that time.
So there's been a narrative over the last bunch of years, and it's a narrative because it's true. If there's a weakness with Kansas City, you can score points on them, right? It's their defense. And I think they were a lot better this year. So I want to go down their defense with you. They've given up 21 points in their loss to the Lions. Lions score a lot of points. By the way, 21 is the most they've given up. That was in week 1. They gave up 9 to the Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence, 10 that day to the Bears, which, whatever. They did give up 20 to the Jets, and then 20 to Kirk Cousins and the Vikings. So they're giving up 40, 50, 70, 79 in 5 games. They're not giving up a lot of points. And I look at what you're doing with your quarterback in Russell Wilson. So that's 15.8 points a game. That's look, you think of Kansas City and you think offense, right? You think joystick, run points up. Their defense is so much better this year. And I don't know, man. You trust your guy going in there? You trust old Let's Ride boy? Bronco country. Let's ride. I mean, you trust him? Of course you don't. Of course you don't. This is... Tell me where they're going to win another game, by the way. Have you looked at their next 4? Broncos... Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm looking at Kansas City. I'm looking at the wrong side. But all right, it doesn't even matter to me.
Well, the Broncos next day, it's Kansas City, Green Bay, Kansas City bye week.
I think that's right.
And the Broncos are the team on the schedule that you're like, all right.
Yeah, that's my get well game.
This is what Jordan Love's like. I'm throwing 4 touchdown passes.
Damn right. That's my get well game. He's
go.
coming off a bye, and and he gets him at Lambeau, and he's like, all right, I just had a week to figure this thing out, and here comes Enver.
Broncos and Giants pop up, feeling good.
I mean, they wear a D on their helmet. They shouldn't even get to wear that D on their helmet, by the way.
They don't have a D on their helmet.
They did last week.
Yeah,
they did last week. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They absolutely did.
I wish they do have it. That was the greatest logo ever.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, it's not a Super Bowl winning
They
logo.
looked nice last week. All right, the oranges with the white painted end zones and the white helmets, that was fresh. I'll give them that. No, I mean, they lost, but they look good. Yeah, they get the Chiefs, the Packers, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Vikings, the Browns, the Texans, the Chargers, the Lions. Where are they winning?
I don't have a good answer for you, Jeff.
Yeah, it's tough to find a win.
Let me paint this scenario because we haven't talked about it a lot. So Enver goes, let's say they win maybe one or two more games. So fine, they're 3-14, 2-15. What if they get the number one overall pick? You've got your guy tied up. You're committed to him for how long? How much longer are you tied to Russell Wilson? Or like you say, you can always get out of it, but it's going to be the cap hit. What are you doing?
Because that contract hasn't even kicked in yet. Is that correct? The extension?
The Russell Wilson extension?
I think you're right, JJ. His contract is really bizarre.
All right, so you're tied to this guy for, the rest of the time, for crying out loud. And there's Caleb Williams, and there's May, and there's and you get $250 million into this guy. Right. What are you going to do if you stumble all the way into the first or a second pick? And you need everything, by the way.
It would be a lot harder if you're the number one overall pick.
It would be a lot harder to do what?
Staring at Caleb Williams. They'd be like, how do we not take this guy?
Okay, so how's that going to work?
Because I think Drake May is good. He's not the, oh my gosh, how did we not select Drake May?
Okay. All right, fair.
Quarterback. Like Caleb Williams, though, he has that feel of.
All right, let's talk that you're the first pick, and it's not out of the realm of possibility. How do you make it work? You're sitting here, you owe him half the Rocky Mountains. How do you screw this up so bad? Have you guys thought about that at all?
A great deal, actually.
Really? All right,
Yeah.
so what'd you come up with?
Well, I was telling you, it's John Bolin. Goes back to that. And so when,
It doesn't even matter whose fault it is anymore. How are you getting out of it? But you're right. It's John Bolin. Yeah.
So how are you getting out of it? I mean, they're trying to get a head coach, and
You paid $10 million a year.
money doesn't matter to them.
That's right.
I
That's
mean,
the Walton
let's-
family.
Yeah. So, but speaking of Wilson's contract, they have him for another 5 years. So that's a tough spot to be in when you have $50 million in 2028.
So what's your cap hit?
Well, money doesn't matter, but when it's a dead cap hit
That's
of
my
$85
point.
million,
Yeah,
that
so
matters.
then it matters because then you can't spend it. Like you can spend as much as you want on your damn coach.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying with the coach. But yeah, dead cap hit, that's a totally different deal.
Yeah.
That would be the only thing. If you do have number one overall pick, just say peace out. You eat it. Caleb Williams comes in, and you rebuild. But
See
I'm
if
also
you can
looking
make
at
NIL
Sean
money?
Payton, and if I'm Caleb Williams, and I know that the story came out with Caleb and his dad saying, I don't know if you want to go to the Arizona Cardinals. You want to go to this mess of a football team? How long is Sean Payton going to be like, yeah, I want a Super Bowl with Drew Brees?
Well, for a long time. For a long time. And then he could rip on Nathaniel Hackett a little more. Look, man, I don't know how long you guys are going to give him a grace period up there.
It's not even. It'd be one like if you saw this team and you're realizing, all right, Russell Wilson is just done, and we saw it last year, and they can't get anything out of that offense, and not even Sean Payton can't juice about it. But the fact that defense has fallen off a cliff, and there's games you gave up 70 points in an NFL game, like you stopped playing, and we're supposed to believe that then just next year Sean Payton's going to be like,
70
oh,
points.
now that I've been here a year, I can bring in more of my Saints guys. Because that's obviously working and turn it around. I don't know how you climb back up that mountain if you're the Denver Broncos right now.
It's kind of interesting. when you say how long does it last, that, you know, winning Super Bowl with Breeze actually means something. Like, Caleb Williams was 8 years old when that happened. Like, I seriously doubt he cares about that.
I promise you he doesn't. I promise you he doesn't. When I asked you this scenario, I looked at DC and he's like, yeah, I shook his head. And it was almost like you hadn't thought about that. Maybe you hadn't. Like you're almost like, damn, what do you do, right?
I know Caleb Williams doesn't care, but that's how Sean Payton got the Broncos job.
Look, I'm well aware of that.
That's why the Denver Broncos like, yeah, we'll give up a first-round pick for this guy who's full of a bunch of hot air right now.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. So they talk about home field advantage all the time. Well, we got him at home. Is that really that much of an advantage? It might not be. Explain. Next on the opening drive, coming up at 8 o'clock, Zaire Riley, Lobo Safety. He's got his own podcast. Well, co-hosts his own podcast. He's going to be with us. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I've ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Years in a row, the Astros are in the American League Championship Series. That will be a watch, dude. And everybody in Texas is so fired up about it. The Rangers and the Astros battle for the division. The Rangers are streaking. The Astros are stacked. The American League Championship Series is set. That's a couple of Burke boys. Albuquerque's Mitch Garver with the Rangers. Albuquerque's Alex Bregman with the Astros. There's a lot of local interest. And that series is going to be special, I think. And then this Diamondbacks thing, this Cinderella story, whoever comes out of the Braves and the Phillies is a power. And people think that's maybe the two best teams left. And the Phillies are up 2-1 after a 10-2 spanking of the Braves yesterday. But don't count the D-backs. But I want 7 years in a row. And I know people go, yeah, whatever, they cheated. And okay, but they're not cheating now.
They're not hitting trash cans right now.
And there are franchises who haven't been. I mean, I saw something yesterday at Evolve Baseball. There's 18 franchises in baseball that haven't been to 7 league championship series in the history of their franchise, and they've been to 7 in a row. That's how dominant what they're doing is. No, it's special, this run that they are on. And Alex is right in the middle of this. Right? I mean, he's as key of a cog. I'm not going to tell you he's the best player on that team. Yordan Alvarez is kind of
it's how they've been able to do it. They had that run where it was, Carlos Correa, Jose Altuve, Alex Bregman coming up. And then if they're all right, we're sticking with
them. And then just fill the voids.
Yeah, and then to be able to find a Yordan Alvarez, a Tucker. The pitching is still insanely good. Bullpen work and good old Dusty Baker just chilling, settling things down. That when we talk about baseball, and what can a manager do? They're impactful, but to me, it's on the bottom rung of things that are wrong with baseball teams because you're not going out there calling every play. There's pitch sequences, and we understand that who's calling the game behind the plate, stuff like that. But that was an impactful move because Dusty Baker came in when there was turmoil.
Absolute turmoil.
When everyone was going after the Astros, and rightfully so, and was just a steady presence at the right time.
The perfect guy. No, the perfect guy. A veteran manager, a veteran baseball guy, a guy that everybody... I mean, there's not a lot of people who don't like Dusty Baker. Dude, he was a hell of a player. He played with Hank Aaron. I remember when he was playing with the Dodgers, and Vince Scully, Johnny B. Baker, is what he would call him, and he was terrific. It was perfect. But yeah, Astros move on to be Astros and Rangers, and you got a big Game 5 tonight. Is it tonight? Tomorrow night? Playing that game tonight? Tomorrow night. They'll play it, I believe. I'll tell you. It's going to be tomorrow night. But when's the 12th? Is today the 12th? They're playing it tonight in Philly. 6:07 on TBS. All right. It talks about home field advantage. Have you seen this note, DC? I know you wrote it. Have you seen it? Do you know what home teams are in the National Football League?
I can't remember the exact record, but it's right about 500.
Okay, so through 5 weeks of the NFL season, there have been 2 neutral field games. I don't know how they say, well, a home team's 1-1 in a neutral field game. What was it? Their neutral field. Through 5 weeks, road teams have a winning record. That means home teams are 37-41. The road team has won 41 out of whatever 41-37 is. That's 78. 41-37 road teams. Betting point spreads are reflecting that, right? Because there's an old rule of thumb that the home team gets a 3-point advantage. It's now shifted to 2, and being a bit closer to 1.5. We're not going to do this next because we're going to talk to Sayer Riley. I want to know why. And maybe it just doesn't matter. Maybe there's only like 2 or 3 home fields that really affect it. Kansas City, Seattle, maybe Minnesota. But other than that, maybe stadiums like you watch a game in LA, it doesn't matter if it's the Rams or the Chargers, the other team's got more fans. Vegas is the same way. Arizona's the same way. But it's a stunning shift. And I want to get into why. When we come back, really been looking forward to this. Excited to talk to Sayer Riley, Lobo linebacker. He's got his own podcast or co-hosts a podcast, Science Guy. And it's a big game this weekend, Lobos and San Jose State. And Sayer's been playing well. So we'll talk to Sayer Riley when we get back on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and even tonight football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Murcia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Podcast that goes on. Former Pally Dolphin and, just a stud linebacker. Sayer Riley joins us on the Sports Animal. Good morning, Sayer. How you living?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Good. Palisades Dolphins, man. That brings about, I'm just going to tell you. Can you tell me, like, maybe their most famous basketball alum at your high school?
Steve Kerr.
That's
Steve
the
Kerr
dude.
is the most famous basketball alum that we have.
That's the dude, man. He could shoot. We played again. I'm about that world with him and watched him come in. Been one of the best shooters I've ever seen. Hey, big one this weekend. How you guys feeling coming off the bye week?
We're feeling great. A lot of preparation that has gone into this game, which I think is vital for us to get back on the winning side of things. But yeah, the team looks good. Everybody's getting back to some sort of positive health, getting back to closer to 100%. Offense, defense, special teams, coming together as a team. Having a couple of days off during the bye also kind of help reset your mind and get a little bit away from football as you come back into the rest of the season. As we all know that football's a grind, so team's looking good.
You know, watching the Wyoming game and watching some of those big plays that they had, a 4-yard screen pass that goes for 64 yards, a dude getting loose for 40, whatever. And I've heard Coach talk about it, but here you are third on the team in tackles. You're right in the middle of it. From your perspective, because that was so unlike a Lobo defense to just miss tackles like that. Was that a one day, like what on earth happened that day in Laramie, Wyoming?
I just think we got a little bit too complacent. We, as a defense, our mentality is to go out there, all 11 hats to the ball in a bad humor. And we didn't necessarily do the best job of that. I know myself, I had 2 opportunities for sacks that I just let the quarterback out of my hands. And so, just uncharacteristic like things from our defense. But, this past 2 weeks, we've been able to shore up some things, a lot more pursuit and effort towards running to the ball, making a play from each and every one of us, not necessarily thinking that somebody else has the play made. So just getting all 11 hats to the ball is something that our defense is built off of, and getting back to that these past 2 weeks has been great, and I think it'll show on Saturday.
Lobo linebacker Sayer Riley's with us on the Sports Animal.
So when you're in season and you have film study, you have the experience of games, where do you take your biggest steps as a player? Is it just the experience of the games, or is it being able to look at the film and be able to focus on certain things in practice? What is the development like in season for a player?
Well, it depends. For guys like myself that have been here a long time, it's just getting to the familiarity of players and the coaches and how we play things. I think the last time we played San Jose State was my freshman year, so it's been a little while, so it brings a little bit of uncharted territory again when you're playing against a school like Air Force or Wyoming 4 years in a row. So that's things that we these older players we lock into, and that we do is just taking a little bit more time in the film session, looking at our scouting reports for these new opponents that we haven't necessarily seen in a little while, compared to when you're playing, schools year after year. You kind of, know what each other like to do and the schemes and things like that. So, especially for this week, it's just doing the little things, locking into a new opportunity against a new opponent.
We know you can't get ahead of yourself, and you have to be focused on the week that is in front of you, and it's San Jose State. But you also have a head coach that is very confident in this team, and Danny Gonzalez has said that he believes you guys could be a bowl team, and you have been here and you've been a part of this process to get to a point where you feel different expectations. What's different about the vibe around this year's team than maybe it has been in years past?
I just think the belief. Not to say that the past Lobo teams didn't believe, but I just think that we have a different type of belief this year, going all the way back to January, doing things as a team, coming together as a unit, all three phases. It's just different, and when you're around the guys and you've been in the building and been with each other from January all the way till now, like, you just build those types of relationships where it's different. We've done things this offseason where it's not just linebackers, sticking with linebackers, or D-line sticking with D-line, but it's linebackers, kickers, wide receivers, running backs, tight ends, safeties, just guys from all over the team coming together and just doing different stuff, whether that's kickball, whether that's basketball, going out to eat together. So it's just a different type of belief in each and every one of us, and then us collectively as a team. I think that's the most important thing. And we understand that we haven't been good the past 3 years, and there's a lot of people on this team in Lobo jerseys that just don't believe that that's going to be the case this year. And every time we step out on the field, every play, just knowing why we do things together, why we do things as a collective unit, helps us when we go out there and make plays. Whether it's not just me waiting on Tavian to make a play, or Tavian waiting on Bill to make a play, or Bill waiting on Dylan to make a play. It's just whoever's out there, we're all going to make plays, and we're all going to hopefully come out with the win.
Isaiah Riley, Lobo linebacker, with us on these sports. I want to stay on the theme JJ just brought up. We've heard everybody respond to what Danny said in response to the comments that he said. I believe this team's going to make a bowl game, and I've heard fans and media and everybody, but I haven't heard a lot from the players. How did that play for you guys? What did you think when your coach said that after the New Mexico State game?
Well, when he said that, it wasn't shocking to us. I know it was shocking for everybody else because necessarily you don't have a head coach going out to the media and saying, things that are said behind closed doors. But that's what we all believe. And we've believed that since, 2020. We've always, that's always been our goal, always been our mission to strive to get to a bowl game. And so I just think that when it comes out in the public eye, like now that's their expectations for us, where what we've done the past 3 years doesn't necessarily seem like that should be the expectation. But the reality is the expectation is to go to a bowl game, to win the 5th Mountain West Conference Championship every year. And that only starts with winning 6 games. So right now we're sitting at 2-3, looking to get back on track on Saturday, get to 3-3. 1-1 in conference play, and then see how the season progressed from there. But that's been the expectation. Those have always been the expectations. And so now I'm actually glad that the Lobo faithful are able to hold us accountable and look forward to bigger and better things.
Yeah, it's good stuff. You're a communications major, journalism and communications. You got the Cy and Sky podcast with Sky McMillan with the soccer players. Tell us about that, how it started, and what the content is. I'm going to guess a bunch of people would love to take a listen to that.
Yeah, so the Science Guy podcast, we were in a CJ class over the spring. It was audio journalism with Michael Marcotte. And, we just got to learn about, how to use Adobe Audition and write scripts for radio or for, audio.
I need to learn that.
Journalism. And so, we started that, and then as the summer progressed, we went into, each our individual thing. I had an internship at New Mexico PBS, and, right before the season, Sky reached out and she was like, hey, do you want to do a podcast? And so we reached out to UNM Athletics, and they've been so great, and I'm very appreciative of them giving us the platform and being able to share it with all the sports. So we just recorded or just released our second episode with one of my teammates, Dante Martin, yesterday. He's hilarious. He's been here since 2018, since before the Danny Gonzalez era. So, we just been able to get together, put our minds to do this podcast and really just show off what we learned in our time here at UNM and what the CJ department has to offer.
I think it's really cool. And from what I understand, it's the first student-run podcast. He is Sire Riley, Lobo linebacker.
So, Sire, as a player, obviously as a sports fan, what are the things that you enjoy? What were you watching growing up? Was it the debate shows, First Take? What do you think as a player when you see some of the talking heads screaming like they do?
Yeah, so I used to go home in elementary school, instead of watching SpongeBob, I would watch NFL Total Access on NFL Network, and I just fell in love with the game and sports reporting and talk shows and things like that. And as of late, I always make a point to at least watch 30 minutes of First Take every day, since that's the number one sports show in the morning. And so, I just surround myself and my thoughts into the line of work that I want to do. And, it's funny because now you see these the old school and the new school, and how sometimes that they conflict in views. And that's also just how the games have grown for each respective sport. Football, basketball is no longer the same of how it was. Hockey, same thing. Baseball. So, just watching different sports, learning different sports. I can say that I'm the only one in my family that could probably understand every single sport, because that's just sports. I just love sports, and football has been great to me, giving me the opportunity to showcase that and showcase my love to the world of sports that I have, and I look forward to continue to grow in that.
Hey, we may reach out to you.
I think there's a chair and a microphone over here after the football season.
We got room in here, and we like to think we're a decent show in the morning too, Sire. But maybe you could add to it. We both take time off, and we're always going, hey, who's going to sit in? So maybe we go to the bullpen and say, hey, there's a Pally Dolphin named Sire Riley that might be able to fit in one day.
That would be dope. I would love that. I'm going to hold you guys to that.
All right. Well,
we're here.
We're going to be here every day. Hey, thanks for doing this. Appreciate the conversation. Really good conversation, and continued success, not only with the podcast, but obviously with athletics and academics. We'll see you out there on Saturday. Good luck against the Spartans.
No problem. Thank you guys so much.
All right, be well. Sire Riley. You're going to hear more of him. And why wouldn't we just say, hey, JJ's out one day or Jeff's out one day, and Sire sit in, right?
Absolutely.
I like him a lot. And I will check out the podcast.
Mr. Marcotti's still there, C&J.
You know him?
Yep, I was in one of his classes as well.
Did he learn? Is that how you learned how to write the radio scripts?
Oh, yeah.
You can teach me one day.
We'll start having some practice sessions.
I should probably learn. Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, is going to be with us coming up at 8:30 this morning here on The Sports Animal on 95.9 FM and AM 610. Your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and even tonight football.
Olivas going to the corner of the end zone. Nice grab there by Josh Jackson, and that's going to be a touchdown, El Dorado.
Their strong point, their focal point, and
Nelson will keep it himself for some room on the right side. Nelson's on his feet, and he is in. It's a touchdown for Noah Nelson.
Sliding, and they slid out of going out there. Linebacker, they're going for the big gutter play. How did he hold on to that? Ethan Olguin. My goodness, a 32-yard bomb. He's going to launch this one long, and it's a little bit short, but what a pull down. Fabian Trujillo. Unbelievable, this man.
Dyer back to pass. Pressure. Gets out of it nicely. nicely. On the sideline, got an open man. It's Lambrana. Cheeto makes one miss. Cuts back up the middle. Another cut to the right. And he's all the way down at the 10-yard line.
That's Sweet Pete Jr.?
Right?
Sweet Pete Jr. right
What a move there by Cheeto Lambrera.
Second and 1, give it to Gallus. Once again, he evades one tackle, evades two. Breaking into the open, there's a block, bye-bye. And he breaks the last tackle to get through. Jack Gallus with the touchdown.
Happy with his defense so far. Vukovic, and that ball is ripped up. Bernalillo will have this ball at the 1-yard line.
That's the extra yards for Cheeto. Dyer quickly, it's batted into the air, and it is picked off. Rams football as Rio Rancho finally gets the turnover they need as it's tipped into the waiting arms of Vincente Tafoya. Ryan Brown had punched it into the air and allowed Tafoya to come away with it. Let's see if Nelson can make it
right
pay.
back.
No! LaCueva gets it back on another tip drill. It falls into the waiting arms of the senior Luke Ryder.
Kick is up. It will bounce into the arms of Daniel Garcia, and Garcia explodes through the middle. He dodges Castro, and Garcia will run that one back from about the 17-yard line. Call that one an 83-yard touchdown rush.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better.
You're right. I always enjoy the conversations on Thursday with the student athletes. Not just on Thursdays, but always, I mean, we get them on Thursdays a lot, but always enjoy the student athlete stuff. And the young man's going to have a future. And he knew where Steve Kerr went to school. See, they educate you, educate you on that. JJ's heard the story a million times. Have I told you my Steve Kerr story?
No, but I want to hear it.
So, and pardon me if you've heard this before. So when I first got to Channel 7 in 1997, 6, 7, I went out to Chicago, did an at-home story with Luke Longley, and Steve Kerr was on the Bulls, and after the media scrum, I went up to Steve Kerr, and I said, hey, man, you're not going to remember this, but your senior year at Palisades High, I said, you came into our Christmas tournament, and I've never seen anybody shoot like that. I said, it's still the best. I said, we threw 3 dudes at you. It was unbelievable. And he looked at me, he says, huh, you went to Taft? And I said, I did. He says, yeah, I had a pretty good week. Dude, okay, so Steve Kerr was long, blonde hair surfer dude from Pally. Like Palisades is out on the water, right? You know, it's like, he's the guy, he's Billy Ho. It's the dude at the pickup game. I got that guy. No, you don't. It was 3 days of this dude like, who on earth is that dude? And then he became Steve Kerr and one of the greatest shooters of that generation, right? When you say that generation of basketball, he was one of the best shooters. When he was at Arizona, I mean, and I don't expect you guys to remember this. This was one of the coolest things. He would hit a three, and the PA guy at McHale Center would go, Steve Kerr, and the whole crowd would then respond, Steve Kerr. Like, that was their thing there. It's really, like, that's how big that dude was there. And then he became a Bull and a Spur and a multi-time champion. And, yeah, anyway, that's my Steve Kerr story. All right, 505-246-0610. Emails and texts are coming in. Good morning, OD. This says, all right, you guys I need your help. Thursday Night Football starts week 6 in the NFL. If you had 5 teams to win money line this week, where would you put your money? All right, first of all, Texter, I want you to make money, so I want you to understand that we're not good at this. But 584, since you asked, you're looking at me like I'm nuts.
Well,
you got 5 money.
Tune in tomorrow for a 3-for-all segment. At least get 3 of them.
Well, but we don't necessarily go money line. But I mean, all right, Chiefs money line. You're not getting paid a lot. Money line winners.
San Francisco.
It doesn't even matter who they're playing, right? All right, Chiefs, San Francisco, Miami over the Panthers, Vikings over the Bears,
Bills,
and who the Bills playing?
Giants.
No, there you go. There's your 5.
Boom.
All right, those seem pretty easy. How many of those are going to lose?
4 of them.
This other one says death, taxes, and the Dodgers choking in October. If the Dodgers, I would go after Snell, not Ohtani. It's from Ronnie. He says if I'm the Dodgers, I go after Snell, not Ohtani. Yeah, but you know what the Dodgers are going to do. They're gonna spend as much money as they can to get Ohtani, and he can't pitch next year. It's just
they're going to get Ohtani and Snell.
No, if they want to, they can.
And this and that.
And you get an Ohtani, and you get an Ohtani, and you get a Snell. Yes. All right. I'm looking for more. Do we have Taylor Swift movie tickets to give away, DC? Do you know anything about this?
On the 13th.
What day is today?
The 12th.
So tomorrow we're going to give Taylor Swift
No, you can
tickets away?
text Taylor to the station to get entered.
Right now?
Yes. So text Taylor to our text line, and you get entered for a chance to win tickets.
Really?
The Taylor Swift movie. We have other tickets to give away tomorrow.
So right during the eclipse, this is Sunday, never mind. Sunday at 11 at Windrock, there is the Taylor Swift movie. You can text Taylor to our text line, 505-246-0610, and get entered. And, that's kind of a big deal. Don't you think?
It's a huge deal. It's going to be the biggest movie of the weekend.
Yes, it is.
I think Travis Kelce is playing tonight.
Oh.
So they can focus on him and T. Swift in the movie this weekend.
And he might not even play. Or he might. Or he might not.
It's a script. The NFL had it all planned out.
Don't you think they missed, though, not having Aaron Rodgers go over there and try and wedge on Taylor Swift?
I don't know why you're so into that story.
That would have been a great side storyline if there was actually a script.
But isn't T. Swift the one that writes all the sad stories, and then she's going to turn into the bad girl and ditch Kelce?
Yeah, but this would have just to watch him just get just denied. If it was scripted. Oh, look what we got. And Kevin Harlan. And we've got a developing situation. Aaron Rodgers is crutched over to Taylor Swift's suite, and he sat down beside her. He's brought her a soda. It might be spiked. There might be something in the soda. And, right? I mean, Kevin Harlan calling that would be great. I got to go now? And Taylor Swift has denied him. Incomplete. Jerry Palm, when we come back, we're going to talk. I mean, what do I got? USC, Notre Dame, Washington, Oregon. And what on earth happened at Miami last week? Take a knee. He should have taken a knee. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and even Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us, and my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Jr. Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs.
And AM 610, the sports animal.
Aggies were winners last night down in Las Cruces, 27-13 over Sam Houston, 4-3 overall for New Mexico State, 2-1 in Conference USA. First time the Aggies have won 4 games before October 12th, I'm told, since 1992. They'll play the Miners next week and renew that rivalry midweek in El Paso. Lobos on Saturday over at University Stadium against San Jose State. I'll have the call with George Carter over on the Mountain West Network. You can listen to it on News Radio KKOB with Robert and Dontrell. Or, how about this? Or you can go out there and watch it. Tickets still available. It should be a beautiful Friday afternoon after the eclipse and balloons on Saturday at 4 o'clock. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck. We got a great slate looking at us this week after some real fun, exciting, weird stuff in college football last week. Check in with one of your favorites and one of our favorites. You read them every day. We're on CBSSports.com. He is Jerry Palm. Good day, sir. How you living?
I'm all right. How are you?
It's decent around here. We got one team that's got we actually got a team in New Mexico right now with a winning record in college football. It doesn't happen all the time around here, so it's kind of fun.
No, well, I was surprised with their fourth win, by this time of year in the calendar anyway, for the first time in, 30 years?
1992 is what I was told today. Yeah.
Yeah,
there's a little tidbit for you.
That's pretty remarkable. But good for them. I actually watched the second half of that game last night.
That was the wrong half for watch for them. Yeah, they struggled the second half.
That's all right.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually caught the tail end of the first half too. But it was, they look good. But Sam Houston is, and they leveled up, from FCS where they were a power, and it just hasn't gone well for them yet.
You know what though, Jerry? I looked at it. I saw they held BYU to 14 points. They held Air Force to 30. I watched Air Force put 49 in person last week against San Diego State, and they held them to 13 points. I thought, wow. And defensively, that was probably the team that we saw in the second half. New Mexico State ran through them in the first half.
Right.
So
they just it's tough to move up. Jacksonville State also moved up this year, and they're having a little better luck.
Yeah, they're 5-2.
But 5-2.
Yeah, they just lost their second game to Liberty the other day. Yeah, Rich Rod's doing a hell of a job there. All right, what was more entertaining? And I say this entertaining and entertaining has a different meaning. OU Texas was such a good watch, or watching Miami just crumble down the stretch and lose that game to Georgia Tech.
Okay, I didn't find that entertaining. It was more of a cringe.
Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair.
The Texas-Oklahoma game was entertaining, and then the end of the after the Miami game, you flip over and you watch Pac-12 After Dark, the end of the USC-Arizona game.
All night long.
Was a lot of fun as well.
Yeah.
So, that was, pretty entertaining stuff. The Texas-Oklahoma game was really good. I mean, that was just high-class college football. Great players making plays both ways, all the way down to the end. And
surprised? Were you surprised by the ending? Because I was. I thought Texas was going to beat them.
Well, I had picked Texas to beat them, but they weren't that different, really, statistically and all of that. I mean, other than Texas had to win at Alabama, by that point. But those are two really good teams. They're likely to meet again at the end of the year to play for the Big 12 title. And that's really going to be a decisive thing, because if Texas wins that game and they're both 12-1, the committee is going to prefer Texas because they're a conference champion, and that's a thing. It's not everything, but in that situation, it's definitely a thing. So it's not over yet for Texas, not over yet for Oklahoma, but those are two really good teams. Those are two playoff caliber teams.
Jerry, in the results too, I think people, if they didn't know how good Louisville was, to see them beat Notre Dame by 13, it probably got their attention last
night. I think I told you about that last week, didn't I?
You did. The thing is I've watched Louisville now a few times. The thing that stands out about Louisville is they're winning with defense. It's weird to see a Jeff Brom team win with defense. Not that the offense is, bad or anything, but it's the defense has been more reliable for Louisville than the offense has. And I mean, part of that is Jack Plummer, quarterback, who, we saw at Purdue because he started there, and then he went to Cal, and now he's back with Jeff Brom at Louisville, and he had a good game. Plummer played a good game. He's the kind of a kid who kind of loses concentration at times, and they'll be going along, doing all right, and then all of a sudden does something that just leaves you scratching your head. So he didn't have any of those moments against Notre Dame, so that's an improvement. And if he can continue to do that, Louisville may have a chance to get to 12-0. But the weird thing is, the ACC has got 3 12-0 teams. Florida State, North Carolina, not 12-0, but currently undefeated teams. Florida State, North Carolina, Louisville, they do not play each other in the regular season. They could all finish 12-0. And then you get into the depth of tiebreakers, which probably is going to, I think the ACC's like 15th or 16th tiebreaker, whatever it is, way down the list, bottom of the list, is the rankings in the team rankings metric, not the CFP rankings, the team rankings metric. And that's just a site. They're the ones who provide like strength of schedule numbers for the College Football Playoff Committee and things like that. So, that would be. I'm rooting for that because I appreciate that level of chaos. But then you would have a 12-0 team that didn't even get to play for its conference title.
Yeah, that's insane.
And then what happens to that team? You have two teams,
Duke's Mayo Bowl.
One of which will be 12-1 after it loses, so you'll have a 13-0 champion. So that one's obviously got the leg up. But what about the other team? Well, anyway,
Duke's
we have to
Mayo
talk about
Bowl
it now because it's not likely to happen. But still, that would be fun.
They go to the Duke's Mayo Bowl. It's Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, is with us on the Sports Animal.
Speaking of fun, Oregon at Washington. What are you expecting from that one?
A lot of points, although I think they're both decent defensive teams also. I just think it's hard to hold those offenses down. It should be, you're going to see tremendous talent on display. Those two teams have been terrific so far. They've got Heisman candidates at quarterback. The skill position guys are really good. Their defenses have been good. Those are just really talented, well-coached teams, and I'm just excited for it. I picked Washington. They're at home, so that's it. That's the only separator for me is Washington's at home. But it should be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it.
SC Notre Dame, you talked about. I stayed up late too, and it was amazing watching Arizona and them go back and forth. It goes to the third overtime, and Arizona missed on their 2-point conversion. SC's going to get beat because they give up points, and this may be the week. It may not be this week, but at some point, I don't think anybody.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it might happen more than once. USC is baffling. How can you have that? It's not like they only have talent on offense. They recruit well on the defensive side of the ball too, but they just, they look like they're not coached. Like they don't know how to tackle. How do you have all that talent and can't stop anybody is just baffling to me. It's going to bite them sometime. It might be this week. I picked SC this week. I just think Notre Dame, the grind of Notre Dame's schedule is getting to them. They'll be fired up for SC, but I like another high scoring game because that's what USC does. They'll score. They'll be able to score. And I'm not sure Notre Dame's offense, even against that defense, can keep up.
All right. This is a game, 5 o'clock Mountain on CBS Sportsnet, Wyoming Air Force. And I saw both of these teams play in person a couple weeks ago. Wyoming beat Fresno State on a nationally televised game. Is this maybe for the best group of 5 team? And certainly for Air Force, if they can run the table, they're in line for the group of the group of 5 New Year's 6 spot. But this is, I don't know, does this have national attention, your attention, like it has ours?
Yeah. Oh, sure. It has to. That was a big win for Wyoming last week. Really damaged Fresno State's chances, even at 12-1, of getting that spot in the group of 5. But we'll see, because Tulane is the other most likely candidate out there. Yes, I think certainly Air Force, 13-0 Air Force. Wyoming's already lost to Texas.
Yeah, they lost to Texas. It was 10-10
going
into the fourth.
12-1 lost to Texas. That's their only loss, right?
That's their only loss.
Yeah. But this is, you got to like Air Force at home, though, right?
Well, they're a 10.5-point favorite, and I think that number's thick.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But Wyoming is, a different team at home. It's their home field is a real significant advantage for them. And away from home, they're just a good football team. So, they're capable of winning. And obviously, when Air Force is a unique team to prepare for, but when you're in that league, you see them often enough that that's not really a big deal. But I like the way Air Force is going. I like them this week. I think it's going to be really interesting if Air Force gets to the Mountain West Championship game at 12-0 and they're playing maybe Fresno, maybe someone else, but a pretty good team. and how that goes. I still think Fresno State's the best team in that league, but obviously, the loss at Wyoming is really going to hamper them. And at 12-1, a loss to Wyoming versus 12-1 Tulane with a loss to Mississippi, who's in the rankings, I think could hurt Fresno State.
Jerry, in this week's Daily Dose of Dion, it's a reality. You go from 10 a.m. games to 8 p.m. games. They had a walk-off field goal against Arizona State, but I think he's just realizing, man, life in the Pac-12, it can be like that sometimes.
Yeah. The Pac-12 is nuts. You were talking about Colorado, right?
Yeah.
Because you cut out on me there for a second. Yeah, Colorado. They may get Travis Hunter back this week, which would be big for them because that's basically two guys, and he's a great player. But yeah, the Pac-12 never disappoints in terms of excitement, and especially unexpected excitement, and especially late at night. Although that particular game was not. But I think Colorado, if they can get Travis Hunter back now, they can kind of. They're definitely a more dangerous team. They're still not at the level of the elite teams in this league. But they can do pretty well for themselves coming down the stretch.
Now they can get to 5-2 if they beat Stanford on Friday night. There's a sneaky good game in that league that I don't know that everybody's going to pay attention to because SC Notre Dame's on at the same time. But UCLA's 4-1, Oregon State's 5-1. Those are two really good teams. I love Oregon State defensively, especially.
Yeah, I do too.
But that's a sneaky, really good top 20 game.
Yeah, it's important too, at least in terms of trying to stay alive to chase a potential conference championship game, but also bowl position and stuff like that in the league. It's an important game. UCLA got a big win last week. Oregon State's been terrific. You mentioned defensively, offense has been hit and miss, but they were better last week. I like Oregon State at home. I think that's a tough place to play, and UCLA, though, that's a pretty good team. Probably better than people think. And that's the nice thing about this league. You've got 8 teams that can play.
Arizona's one of them. Like Arizona Washington State is another really good watch if you somehow have the Pac-12 network. But what I don't. I don't either. I didn't realize until I watched him go toe-to-toe with SC the other day. Man, he's done a hell of a job. That's a nice team.
Yeah, he's got some guys there. Yeah. Their 2-point conversion play, though, that was a horrible play call.
Well,
that was never going to work.
You mean running wide left against really fast
that
dudes?
It worked throughout the game, but it's a lot different running that play at the 2-yard line than it is at midfield. Yeah.
All right. You going to Purdue, Ohio State on Saturday?
Oh, yeah.
You're only 19.5-point dogs.
I think we can cover. I don't know. We kind of have their number, relatively speaking. Nobody really has Ohio State's number. But here's a piece of trivia for you. Since 2000, nobody has beaten Ohio State more times than Purdue has. Five times in 14 tries. Three of the last 4 at home, although the most recent one was 2018, the Tyler Trent game. Michigan and Penn State also have 5 wins, but have played at least 7 more games against Ohio State than Purdue. So
that's good trivia.
That is relatively having their number, but nobody really has Ohio State's number. They run a lot of talent out there.
Since we're on that league, real quick, what Mike Locksley's done at Maryland, and they're 5-1, and they played with Ohio State for 3 quarters the other day, and obviously his name resonates quite a bit around here. He and he's been doing a lot of national media lately. He's turned into it feels like a pretty good that program now is solid, and they're I'm not going to tell you top tier in that league, but they're next tier in that league, aren't they?
Right now they are. Yeah. When I watch them, I feel like they're not quite as good, especially offensively, as the talent they run out there on the field.
It's interesting.
Tagliavola, Kailua, to his brother, is erratic, makes some bad decisions. Even now as a senior, still makes some bad decisions that gets him out of situations where I think that offense should be more explosive than it is. They're better defensively than they've been since he got there.
Yeah, that's probably right.
But I
just wonder how good he really is. Yeah, I wonder if he's limited.
Tailua?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got talent.
Yeah. But people expect him to be his brother, and he's not.
Making. Yeah. Well, right. I mean, his brother. His brother's probably better.
Yeah.
But what makes him better is I think he's he thinks the game better than his younger brother. That's
fair.
And did in college.
Yeah. I'd have fun out there. But I just saw weather 56 and partly sunny, so it should be a beautiful day. Have fun out at the Purdue-Ohio State game. Read them every day over on CBSSports.com. Follow them on the X. It's at JP Palm CBS. And we'll catch up with you next Thursday, my friend. Thank you so much for the time.
All right, thanks.
All right, be well. Jerry Palm from CBSSports.com. He knows the stuff, man. He knows the stuff. And I'd like to go to the Purdue-Ohio State game. That actually would be a bunch of fun. All right, you can respond to anything you heard there. There's actually a bunch of nuggets, and you got trivia out of that when we come back on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. You're home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football. Hey, take care of your vehicle. I suggest it because it's one of your biggest investments. That means getting it detailed. I mean, not just oil changes. Oh, yeah, that's right. But detail your vehicle. Have on-the-spot automotive detailing come out and detail your vehicle. What does that mean? Inside, outside, under the hood, around the rims, under the seats. It's just like stuff, places you don't get. Remember the day you drove it off the lot, how nice it was, and you tried to keep it that way for a while, and then life happened, and then it became, well, what you're driving around in right now, right? You can get that back, and you don't need a new car. This is what the car lots do. They detail their vehicles, and On the Spot does it as good, if not better, than everybody else. And here's the kicker. They do it at your convenience, where it works for you, when it works for you. That means they come to you at the office. They come to you at home. And while you're busy working, they're outside detailing your vehicle. You get a text, you go outside, and it looks and feels and smells like the day you took it off the lot. And as we go into gift-giving season, this is an ideal gift. Everybody loves something that they would love to have, but they won't buy for themselves, and that's what this is. On the Spot Automotive Detailing offers 10% discount to our military and to our teachers. You can schedule by calling 505-859-2859, 505-859-2859, or online at otsdetailing.com.
This report is sponsored by NexGuard Plus Chews.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet.
And AM 610, the sports animal.
All right, Travis is taking our picks. He says, thank you, OD. I'm laying 200 on the Chiefs, Dolphins, Eagles, Bills, 49ers, and Vikings. All money line. I'll report back Monday. If you're going to parlay that, like, I'd take the Vikings out. Like, would you not feel good about a money line parlay? So it's Chiefs over the Broncos. There's money line, just picking winners. Chiefs over the Broncos. Niners over the Browns, Dolphins over the Panthers, Eagles over the Jets, and Bills over the Giants. Like, somebody's probably going to get clipped, but wouldn't you feel pretty good about a 5-team money line parlay on that? Now, I take really the Vikings. I think the Vikings are going to beat who the hell are Vikings playing? The Bears. But I would take the Vikings out of that and do a 5-team parlay on money line. I mean, good luck to you, Travis, because we never win. But I hope you do. Text line. Oh, this is that number. I'm not sure who this person does like. This is the one. I think it's a Lobo fan who just doesn't like Danny, as he calls him, Gonzalez. But sure doesn't like the Aggies either. So you mean a home win over some winless team from Houston, I guess. Wow, impressive. Yeah, that's what I mean. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what's in there. Look, man. Last I checked, they beat you by how much? And they're 4-3. And this is what I always say about this kind of stuff. They didn't turn down an invitation to your league. They didn't turn down playing anybody you play. That's who they're playing. And I think, I don't know. Would your eyes tell you they're getting better? Yeah, you beat the team that beat them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
27-0 in the first half, flying around defensively, offensively look good. And there's moments in games after respond. The offense took faceplant in the second half. What'd they do? They still made enough plays to win. And you look at 4 quarters of the football game, you only give up 13 points in a college football game. That's
let me ask
pretty
you this.
Darn good performance.
All right, so you've watched. What are they? They're 4-3. So they played 7 games. They're playing 13. This will be kind of the halfway point for most teams, or some have already hit 6 games. Actually, most have already hit 6 games. Where would New Mexico State be, in your opinion, in the Mountain West this year, football-wise?
Mexico State in the Mountain West.
They lost to Hawaii, so I mean, you can't say they're better than them. Although I think they are, but they lost. They had that game won. They lost. They beat New Mexico.
Be middle of the pack.
Yeah, I think so too. They're not Air Force, Wyoming, I don't think they're UNLV or Fresno.
No.
But I think they'd be middle of the pack.
They're a team that you put them up against Utah State. They could win that game. Colorado State saw it against New Mexico. Nevada. They would compete with San Diego State and San Jose State at this moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. When we come back, where's Lobo basketball picked? The conference media days going on right now in Vegas for men's basketball, and the polls are out, as are the preseason conference, all conference teams. Where the Lobos are, where they should be, where the women were picked yesterday as well. And your reaction already to it. It's the opening drive. Glad you're with us on a beautiful Thursday. On 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night. And tonight, Kansas City and Denver football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Hoop, that is. Basketball media day today. Mountain West Conference 25th basketball season. Out in Vegas, ladies were yesterday, the men today. JJ UNLV was picked, and of course JJ, the voice of Lobo women's basketball. The Lobo women were picked 6th in their league, and UNLV, the defending champion, was finished first. James is already upset. James, the one who said, "Why?" The one who texts or sends me emails all the time. Why are they practicing now? They're going to be tired in March. And it says they should be better than this, Jeff. Lady Lobos should be better than 6th place in their league. It's the polls. Get angry later. and first of all,
it's a preseason prediction. They could finish 3rd. They could finish 2nd.
That's right. And Brent Brennan, who was with us yesterday, he's the San Jose State coach. Football. Really good conversation with a cerebral guy. And if you didn't hear it, I think you'd enjoy it if you go to our website, sportsantlabq.com, click on the opening drive, and it's worth your listen to Brent Brennan, who will be in University Stadium with San Jose State this week, a former UCLA player. But he said something that I say all the time. The other guys recruit, they have scholarships, their coaches get paid, they have weight rooms and video equipment, they prepare. Like the other guys are on scholarship too, right? Why?
That is the case.
When I read this, what does it mean? Tell me why the Lady Lobos should be better than 6. Like, because they have fan support? Because they have, like, why? Tell me what that means to you.
I think
I know
there
you
should be high expectations around a program that has that kind of support, that invests in basketball overall. But it's also one in the Mountain West Conference is a lot more stable. There are no first-year coaches in the league on the women's side. And you look at the top of the conference, Gordy Presnell, been there forever at Boise State. Ryan Williams, been there forever at Colorado State, really getting in the transfer portal lately. Wyoming has returning some consistent players.
And they commit too.
Allison Fertig is a all-conference type center that they were able to stay home. And UNLV is just on another level. They've raced past everyone. Lindy LaRocque has done. If she does it again, where that team only loses 3 or 4 games, she deserves a power conference job after the season.
All right, men's poll came out this morning about 25 minutes ago. Number 1, San Diego State, the defending champion, the defending national runner-up. They are preseason number 1. Boise State number 2. New Mexico number 3. Steve Alford and Nevada number 4. Colorado State 5. UNLV 6. A little respect for San Jose State at 7. Fresno State 8. Utah State, Wyoming, and Air Force. So the Lobos are picked 5th. They got 1 first place vote out of the 31 first place votes. Preseason all-conference team. 2 Lobos. Nobody else has 2 on the team. Jalen House and Jamal Mashburn Jr. are both first-team preseason all-league, along with Tyson Degenhart from Boise State, Lamont Butler, the postseason star from San Diego State, and Isaiah Stevens is back at Colorado State, and he is the preseason player of the year. Preseason newcomer of the year, Reese Walters, San Diego State. Preseason freshman of the year, Didon Thomas from UNLV. And the young man from San Diego State, who is named the preseason player of the year, Waters, comes to San Diego State. They got a guy who played at USC for 3 years. Rich get richer now. He was named the Pac-12 sixth man of the year in 22-23. Average almost 10 points a game at SC. So they got players. Sound about fair to you? Lobos
That sounds
third?
about fair.
All right.
I was intrigued to see that Nevada did get 1 first place vote, as did New Mexico. 4 for Boise State, 25 for the Aztecs.
It's interesting. It'll be fun. And again, this is just something for you to talk about. Global basketball, within a month away now. But they were picked, and Richard Pitino will speak today, and you'll hear the sound bites, and we'll get him in here in the next few days, probably sometime next week, I'm going to guess. We'll get him in and talk about where they are. I think a big issue is I think this Junior Nelly Joseph thing is becoming a kind of a bigger deal than I think maybe some people are letting on as far as getting him and his visa. And I don't know why, JJ, the visa thing is an issue. He played in the United States last year. He went to Ione, played for Rick Pitino. I'm not sure what the issue is with the visa thing, but obviously it's a little bit more intricate than they thought it was going to be.
You have to be very concerned because I don't know where it is at the process or what it is, but it is something that someone asked me what was going on, and I described it as almost like you're waiting in line, and like they'll get to you when they get to you. It's not a priority for anyone right now to figure out Nelly Jr. Joseph's student visa to come back to the United States. It's priority for New Mexico, but there's not much they can do.
I think that's right. I mean, there's just not much they can do but sit around and wait and keep going. You know what I've heard? And this is, I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's going to be a star. He's going to be a big contributor. And I haven't been out of practice. But Daraji Agbayosi, the young man who transferred back home, who was a star at El Dorado, who played at, was it North Alabama, South Alabama? It was at where he transferred, North Alabama. He's 6'7", 215. This may be a walk-on that you get some minutes out of. And I've heard he has looked terrific in practice by a number of people who have been out there. Now, I don't know what he does for you as far as minutes, what you can expect, but especially if Nelly misses any time, I mean, this might be a body and a guy that, wow, you stumbled into something that might really help you early in the season.
If they have to get by, yes, he's a grown man when you see him.
Yeah.
They're not winning the Mountain West Conference.
No. I'm not telling you he's the difference maker. I'm telling you he's a guy that maybe you didn't expect minutes out of, especially if Nelly doesn't get here.
You need someone. Can you bang and grab rebounds?
Yeah. I mean, Mustafa Umzil is here, but this will be interesting. And obviously, everything is predicated the polls on Nelly Jr. Joseph being here.
Well, especially what we saw happen with Isaac Mushila.
Mm-hmm.
He got an injury; he could miss a month. So you're absolutely right. It's a huge opportunity for Daraje to make an impact early in the season because they're going to need some post minutes.
Yep. All right, 505-246-0610. So, Lobo basketball fan, let's go. Your team has been picked third in the Mountain West Conference. San Diego State, Boise State, U, and Nevada. Does that feel right? Is it, I mean, where are you? You can get in on that. When we come back, Denver Broncos play tonight against Kansas City. Broncos now plan on to move on from another player, another veteran on their defense. Like you can say, you can put a D when you say defense, right? Just not with Denver. What are they going to do with this veteran as they continue to have their problems? That's next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and tonight football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife And our daughter, they didn't make it.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Actually, a little bit more natural to me now. As Alice did during COVID when Alice had the Cowboys had no defense. And for those of you just joining us, I've opted to call them Denver Broncos because they're the worst defense in the NFL. They have no D. They have to earn their letter back. So there's no D in Denver. So the Denver Broncos, Kansas City Chiefs, they'll be on our air tonight. Broncos plan to move on. Here's another veteran. And so you guys are like, I don't know how good he's been in whatever, but they're getting rid of their outside linebacker, Frank Clark. Whether they release him, whether they trade him. Field Yates reported that this morning on ESPN. So Clark is a guy who agreed to a restructured deal this week. So he gave back $1.686 million in guaranteed money. Wow. His concept was he'll be more attractive on the market. That way he won't get cut. He'll get he'll get somebody else who will want him. He's the second pass rusher that they're giving up on because late last week they sent Randy Gregory, who we'll talk about here in a moment, to the 49ers. First year with the Broncos. He's played in 2 games because of injuries. He's been declared out for tonight's game against Kansas City and was released by the Chiefs in March. So I don't know if this is a big deal. It just feels a little bit more illustrative of what may be somewhat endemic of what's going on with the Denver Broncos, no?
Yes. You look at Randy Gregory, he was a big swing and a miss. He was a guy with a ton of character flags coming in, and they gave him a pretty hefty contract 2 years ago. It was, Frank Clark was the classic, hey, we'll fill with Sean Payton, and we just need a kind of veteran pass rusher in there. Let's go. That didn't work out, and you're just starting to trim the fat where you can in Denver.
This goes back to what you asked yesterday in the red zone, where Sean Payton says, "Oh no, we're not getting rid of our assets, right? We're not getting rid of our assets. We're not." But yet, piece by piece, they're kind of getting rid of their assets, aren't they?
Well, JJ was right on yesterday when he said, it's a big red flag saying, "Call me as soon as possible," and it's interesting to see how quickly it's already moving. And I gotta wonder about the receivers if one of them is going.
Don't you think?
I really do.
I'm just going to go back to the conversation. And this is where I think Denver is in such a tough spot. And I don't know I haven't looked at the boards, who the big defensive stud is coming out of college, who's going to be in the draft this year. But you are going to have pick 1, 2, or 3 in the draft, right? You just are if you're Denver. And so, and you've got a quarterback who, I don't know, man. I mean, well, I kind of do know. Who is in the lower quarter of quarterbacks in the NFL. Am I going way too far out on a limb by saying that at this point? You've seen enough, right? And there's going to be a Caleb Williams, and there's a plethora of quarterbacks, as there seems to be every year. And you're tied to your dude. What'd you tell me, for 5 more years? Yeah. You can build the 87 Bears, whatever that great Bears defense was, 85, the 85 Bears. Does it matter? Then you get your D back. You can be Denver again. You guys are the Broncos franchise is, to me, in one of the most unique, tough situations, because teams that are this bad, all right, well, there's help coming in the draft, and you can't get a quarterback situation. Now you can draft the quarterback, JJ, because you're going to be paying him a rookie contract. So I guess you could and sit Russ and have a backup quarterback that your cap space is $61 million or whatever. I guess you can do that. That's the answer, right? Just say we got to move on. Is
if
it all?
They have the number 1 overall pick. You pick Caleb Williams. Eat it this year, even if Russell Wilson's on the roster.
Where's he going?
You can just cut him.
Okay.
You can. You're.
If you cut him and somebody else picks him up, are they responsible for that contract, or they pick him up as a free agent and they can sign him to a minimum?
I think once he's cut, you owe him.
You owe him whatever the guarantee is, and then he goes out, and on top of that, he gets whatever Carolina pays
at that point. Because that's what holds back so many trades.
Yeah, because somebody will.
Well, I don't want that contract.
Right. Somebody will. I mean, look, Russell Wilson hits the market, whether you're Tampa Bay or whatever. Russell, God, isn't that crazy? That guy's going to be a backup quarterback somewhere. But he is, right? How old is he?
35.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's done then. Is he done at that point?
Does he have any trade value at all?
No, dude, not with that contract. There's none.
Not that contract.
Zero. Tell me how you justify, pick your team. I don't care who you are. How do you justify picking up his contract at 35 years old and declining rapidly?
Yeah, as is, you're right. That's you can't pick up 5 years of that. But if you rework the deal and it's favorable, does he have any kind of value?
Would he do that?
I mean, if you give him veteran minimum and
just why would he do that if he can just get cut and make all that money guaranteed?
You could find a way to make make it favorable for the Broncos. I mean,
But
you're
what
going
is
to pay
it?
them a lot.
So the Broncos, if they, is the guarantee something like 200 million, 190 million? I mean, when we start playing this game, I mean, it's easy to talk about someone else's money. But why would a dude say, "Yeah, no, we're good. We'll save you face, and I'll walk away. You don't have to pay me the 190 million." Why would they do that? Why would he do that?
$161 million guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
over the life of the contract.
And that's 5 years. 5 years starting next year, right?
Yeah.
So that carries you through the end of the decade.
So right now his base salary is $8 million. Next year it's $17 million. Goes up to 37, 40, 44, and 50.
That's not bad. Base salary. So, but the cap hits would be what?
22, 35, 55, 58, 53.
That's where you just get burned. Is in those future. You know what? You just got to eat it now. If Caleb Williams is available, and you become the number one pick, that's where you got to go, man. You just got to eat it. That's the answer is, I got to eat it. I got a quarterback who we think is going to be really good on a rookie contract, and I've got to choke it down. And it might even be true if you have the second or third pick, right?
No, I don't think. I think Caleb Williams is no brainer. If you're the number one overall pick,
okay,
take your chances there. To me, Drake May. I don't see him as you have to draft Drake May.
How do you keep doing this for 2, 3, 4 more
Shooter
years?
Sanders.
How do you keep doing this?
It's the hole you dug.
I know it is.
And
somebody
you
else
have the
kinda
second overall pick, and Drake May is there. I know it's all the hype, but I would take, if you're Denver at that point, best player available, even if like outside of quarterback. And then if you cut Russell Wilson and you move on anyway with a veteran and try to start over, so be it. I don't think you have to select a quarterback just because, unless it's Caleb Williams.
I think that's right. Well, here's the other piece. What if you trade it for a haul? Because,
And then that's
by
the
the
other
way,
side of it.
you need a hell of a lot more than just a quarterback. Now, you need a quarterback. I will argue this with you, with anybody. Denver needs a quarterback as badly as anybody in the National Football League needs a quarterback right now. Anybody.
But the contract situation with Russell Wilson would be the only reason why,
Right.
if they land the number one overall pick, you'd entertain offers.
So now, can I get 4 impact dudes for that one pick? Can I get a Bears type of a where they trade number 1 to Carolina, where I swap their 1 this year, I get their 1 next year, I get it, like they got DJ Moore, and they get a third and something else in there, right? Can I make an impact now where, okay, I'm stuck with this quarterback, so what am I going to put around him, because I have no defense, because I have no line, because I need a hell of a lot more than a quarterback, and I can put Caleb Williams in here, but I mean, how good am I going to be? Like they're in a, again, I'm going to go back, as weirdly, uniquely tough spot as I've seen in a long time, because they're married to this contract. I can't believe I didn't realize it until you told me today. 5 years starting next year. God bless Russ and his agent. I mean, I want that guy to be my agent. And look, when they signed him, they thought they were getting a Super Bowl winning quarterback in his prime, and well, theoretically they were. But it has not been that at all. Wow. All right, when we come back, you want to do a little red zone? Go into the red zone? What do we got in here? Win streaks and Josh Allen, and oh, look at that. The guy we just talked about. We go into the red zone. DC's put together some really good conversation in regards to the National Football League. It's on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burquia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Ask JJ if the Broncos are going to draft Pavia. He's the same size as Spicy Russ. You both gave me the same look. No?
More athletic.
He might be more athletic, at least now. Yeah, I mean, he's 20, 22 as opposed to 35. All right, you want to go in the red zone? We got football tonight, Thursday night football right here on The Sports Animal, your home for football. If you're listening to the National Football League, you're most likely listening to The Sports Animal. Thank you for doing so. Thanks for spending some time with us every weekday morning here on the opening drive on The Sports Animal. We're very appreciative of that, and I know you got a lot of places to go. DC works hard on putting together this segment every day. We call it In the Red Zone.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
Are you crazy? I'm saying you're a football player.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to Tom Brady this game.
You're in the Red Zone with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Let's go, baby!
It's first and goal.
In a bit of a surprise move, the Denver Broncos traded Randy Gregory to the San Francisco 49ers last week. Gregory has shown flashes of greatness in his career, but has missed a lot of time and had off-field issues. Yesterday, he said that he is ready to put his hands in the dirt and that he knows what is at stake for his career. So what impact, if any, will Randy Gregory have on the 49ers' top-tier defense?
They'll have an impact, right? They're so good. He's not going to make them really good because they're really good. But, like, what impact does it have if you have a really good, a new sound system to your Lamborghini, right? Or you know what I'm saying? Like another really good bourbon to your bourbon collection. Like, it just makes it better, right? He makes it better. it gives them depth. If somebody goes down, they've got another guy there. And this is the rich getting richer. The poor get the picture. The bombs never hit you when you're down so low.
Sack and a half, 2 sacks, rotational roll. Hey, you're gonna luck your way into a couple plays being on that defense when they're focused on Bosa coming off the edge, Hargrave. You slide in there for a few plays, and you're gonna be able to get yours.
2nd and goal.
Ready, down, put.
All right, this weekend, Christian McCaffrey will attempt to break Emmitt Smith's record of 14 consecutive games with a rushing touchdown. This made me think about some of the other streaks around the NFL, so I'm going to list a few active streaks, and you tell me if they will continue and why. So first, Mike Evans over 1,000 yards receiving.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Baker's throwing the ball well, and he's their guy. They're going to be down in some games. 1,000 yards in 17 games is what, 60 yards? Yeah, I think he'll get there.
All right, Patrick Mahomes over 4,000 yards passing.
No, I think he falls just under. I think their offense, especially if Kelsey is down. I mean, I'm thinking he's 3,800-ish, but I think we're just short of it this year.
I believe that Patrick Mahomes will hit 4,000 yards.
He believes that he will win. He believes that he will win.
All right, Devontae Adams and Stephon Diggs over 100 catches.
Yes on, no on Adams. Yes on Diggs.
Diggs is a yes, and Adams.
He had 1 or 2 the other day.
Yeah, it was 4 for 45 the other night.
Yeah, that doesn't do it.
No, I think Adams is going to come up short of 100.
Yeah.
All right, Russell Wilson over 3,000 yards passing.
Although
I didn't have time to do any of this.
he's at 12-10 right now, and he's played how many? 6 games? 5 games, and so he's going to get over because they're going to be playing from behind all year, and he's going to get a lot of.
They bench him for Stidham?
Well, but they're not. That's the thing, because Stidham's the guy, and they're not going to bench him for Stidham. So I think because of all the garbage time yards, I think he gets over 3. Yeah. You on the same page?
He's hitting the over.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I've got the over on that one.
Those are good, dude. Oh wait, there's more in the back.
3rd and goal.
Who knew?
All right, so let's give some props. Tonight's Denver at Kansas City
I
matchup.
love the fact that you're saying that. Thank you for adopting that because and you only adopt it because it's flat out truth. I know that.
And it's hilarious. So tonight's matchup could be a blowout, but that will not stop the bettors from sprinkling a little action on this game. So I'm going to throw out a few of the prop bets, and you tell me your pick and why. Russell Wilson over under 227 passing yards.
Over because he gets a bunch late.
Taking the under on that.
All right, Patrick Mahomes over under 275 passing yards.
I think he's right at that. That's such a good. No, let's you go first. Sorry.
I think it goes under. He has 250, and it's a big rushing game.
Yeah, I think it's an Isaac Pacheco day, and I think he's right at about 260. I think it's such a good place to put that number. Under.
All right, speaking of Isaac Pacheco, over under 91.5 total yards.
I'll go high on that. Yeah, I think he runs right through this defense all day. I watched Miami do it, and this young man, it runs angry. Like, watch him hit holes today. When they give the ball to number 10 and you're watching the game tonight on your iPad or your phone or wherever you get your Prime, he's an angry, aggressive runner. I love him. I think tonight's a big night for him.
Because it's rushing and receiving yards. Maybe that's it.
Oh, that's even easier.
Over.
All right, Javonte Williams over under 39.5 rushing yards.
Is he playing?
He is.
Under.
I got to go under too.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Rashee Rice over under 30.5 receiving yards.
You know I got Rice love. I mean, and I think it's an easy bet. Yeah, he catches 4 for 52 tonight.
4 for 52?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Is that a lot?
He had 4 for 33 last week.
All right. He's playing Denver today, so it's 4 for 52.
He has 37 yards.
You're going over also.
37.
4th and goal.
Did I stutter? Beer me.
All right, so let's have a debate. We've been
right.
talking a lot about Brock Purdy recently. We all think he's pretty legit, but how good is he? CBSSports.com just released their quarterback rankings, and there are definitely some surprises. Currently, they have an order from 1st to 5th, Mahomes, Allen, Tua, Brock, then Herbert. So I want each of you to take a side. One of you make an argument why this list is correct, and the other makes the other argument on why it's wrong.
You know which one I want.
What do you want?
I want to support it.
Go for it.
Well, I'll support it because what's the biggest stat in football? What's the biggest stat in football for a quarterback? Is it yardage? Is it touchdowns to interceptions? Is it what's the biggest stat in football? Oh, it's wins and losses. They're the only ones who have a win-loss record. Tell me again what Brock Purdy is as a starting quarterback. Undefeated, never lost. He's 9-0 in regular season games. Now, he ranks 8th in quarterbacks in far as yards thrown. He has thrown 9 touchdown passes. He's thrown 0 interceptions. He makes great decisions. I get it. He's only 9 games in. And so to rate him higher than some guys like Hurts and Lamar, I have him better than, like, the next guys are Hurts, Goff, Lamar, Cousins. I have him better than all those. If you want to tell me maybe that Herbert should be a little higher, we have a conversation. But Brock Starr is right now, and I told you this on Monday, he has got to be in the conversation as a top 5 quarterback because he does everything right. He gets out of the pocket when he needs to. He makes the right decisions, the right throws. This isn't all about a system quarterback. And I'll post-face this by saying it kills me to give that much praise to a Niner, but I am that impressed by this young man.
The only debate against that is just straight pure talent. Performance, Tua, Brock Purdy absolutely deserve to be where they are if you're ranking quarterbacks this season. What are they asking them to do? And they're doing it at a high level in both those offenses. The only pushback would be...
we took the one guy in this argument, too.
The only pushback would be if you just, you say, Jalen Hurts is the better overall athlete and you like his rushing ability, or CJ Stroud has a higher ceiling because he's a better passer than those guys. But in terms of, all right, this is your team, this is what we asked you to do at quarterback, they're excelling. And it's also, I think about the conversation we have, Mountain West quarterbacks and why no one ever likes to rank Air Force quarterbacks high because they don't throw the football, but it's like you're asking them to run an offense a certain way. And can they do it?
All right. We missed the obvious thing here. We missed, Joe Burrow's not in this at all. And even though Joe Burrow's hurt, how Joe Burrow isn't in your top 10 is stupid.
Because this sounds
not even just an aberration, because this is an oversight.
This list does not sound like who are the top 10 quarterbacks regardless.
It's like this week.
Who is playing the best right now. And Joe Burrow's game against Arizona, he'd be up there.
Well, the way this is written, CBS Sports released their quarterback rankings. So is that what rankings for what, this week?
So far this year. Yep. So their performance in the first 5
With
weeks.
all due respect, and I love me some Jared Goff, and I'm fine with Kirk Cousins, and CJ Stroud is terrific, and like Joe Burrow is better than.
Yeah, but he's not playing better than these guys.
All right, so you want him this week to win a game. And again, pick your team. I don't care what team. You want Jared Goff, Lamar Jackson, Kirk Cousins, C.J. Stroud in front of Joe Burrow? I do not.
No, but that's not the list.
The list is
play to this point in the season. That's the only reason why.
No, that's fine. If we're ranking this point,
Tua
in the
and Brock
season,
Purdy would be ahead of Joe Burrow in any conversation.
Right, that's fine. If it's who's played better this, all right, that's fine. That's fine. Then you can even put Brock Starr number 1. No, if that's what the rank, if who's played the best this season, like if you want to talk about who's the MVP right now, and Mahomes and Puka Nacua, and I mean, tell me why Brock Purdy wouldn't be your leading candidate for MVP right now.
Right now, I think he's 5th. I think it's plus 700 for Purdy.
5th behind who? Mahomes, Allen. Who else? Tell me why Mahomes would be, and I'll even give you the numbers. Like Mahomes in passing yards is only 16 yards better than Purdy, Mahomes has thrown 10 touchdowns to Purdy's 9, one more, but Mahomes thrown 4 interceptions to Purdy's 0. Mahomes lost a game, Purdy is not. Why would Mahomes be the MVP in front of Purdy right now? Like in any subjective, tell me why. And again, we're 5 games in, so it doesn't matter to have this conversation on October 12th. But if those are the odds, I guess the odds would be, betting odds are different than why would you vote for him right now. Betting odds are projecting who's going to win it, right? So I get the difference. But if you were voting, tell me why Brock Purdy wouldn't be your guy right now.
Would you vote Brock Purdy or Christian McCaffrey?
Ooh, that's
really
question.
good. No, that's actually really, really, really good. Okay, that might be the reason. I might vote Christian McCaffrey. What he's doing is bonkers. Is McCaffrey's odds better than Purdy's right now? Okay, if you want to have a conversation with his running back, what he's doing, all right. I asked for a reason, you gave me one. Good one, really good one.
And when we get to the end of the season, I think when you're looking at quarterbacks too, I believe Brock Purdy is going to stay consistent. They're going to win a lot of games. I believe they're going to go undefeated until they play Philadelphia.
Okay,
and that will be a game that we're all looking at. It's when you look at Brock Purdy right now, he's 20th in completions. So it's a little, the fact that they're so good, it hurts him a little bit just because they're so efficient.
All right, but look at his completion percentage, and he is first. No, he's second. Josh Allen's first. He's second.
That's fantastic for Josh Allen, by the way.
Yeah, Josh Allen.
175 attempts and he's completing 73%.
Right. Okay, so you're right. He's, what did you just give me the number? Is in completions, he's what?
20th in the NFL.
Okay, fine. But completion percentage, he's second, and in percentage of touchdowns to interceptions, he's first. So, yeah, he's got riches as weapons, and he doesn't. And so that, you know what that is? That might be the argument for McCaffrey. I'll listen to the McCaffrey thing. It's hard for me 5 games in, and again, we're going to have a different conversation next week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 12 weeks. I get it. But 5 weeks right now, after 5 games, I don't see another quarterback that you could objectively vote for. Tua's had really good, but again, just because I say Brock Purdy over somebody, and it kills me to be the Niner guy. I mean, what's coming out of my face? It's like, who the hell am I? I don't know me anymore. But it's, I don't know how you make an argument for anybody else at the quarterback position. All right, 505-246-0610. Man, Jeff, usually your takes are spot on, but this is a bad take. You can't be envy if you're not one of the better players on, I guess it should be MVP, if you're not one of the better players on your team. Are we talking about Brock Purdy? You have to at least be top 6 to be considered an MVP. You got to hush up this broke putty MVP talk. I guess that should be Brock Purdy, but it says broke putty. That's kind of funny. You can't be the MVP if you're not even one of the top 10 players on your team. How is Brock Purdy not one of the top 10 players on your team? I get where he was drafted. How is Brock Purdy not a top 6 quarterback or one of the best players on his team?
I mean, they're stacked. Top 6, though.
I
think
get
he's
it.
in it.
Watch that dude play every week.
Yeah.
The only other, and JJ you said there's the only argument against it. I'll give you one other argument against what he's saying is sample size. We're anointing this guy after 9 regular season games, but he hasn't made a mistake.
But that's the conversation.
Right?
It's not about, you're not voting on, oh, this guy's an MVP because he played great for 3 years. It's who's the best player this season. It's why Russell Westbrook won an MVP.
Right.
Not because it's a career achievement award.
Yeah, I asked, 3537, who's playing better at the quarterback position than Purdy?
CJ Stroud hasn't made many mistakes.
Okay. And his team is 2-3. Now, he's not on nearly as good a team, I understand. All right, so is CJ Stroud the MVP? He's Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, not MVP, but I guess in comparison, I'm saying 5 games versus 9 games. It's kind of a similar comparison.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's totally fair. No, to 5-3 or 3537. So
I think
how is he not a top 6 quarterback this year?
I think it's how you ask that question. And I think the CBS Sports one is, hey, which quarterback, their play plus team success? Because we all know if we're ranking, hey, who are the best 3 quarterbacks in the game, you're doing the Mahomes, Allen, Burrow thing. But I think it's okay to have a different conversation, too, of just stop thinking, all right, who's the top 3 players you're picking versus team performance and player performance, which makes you think a little bit, and that's fun. To me, I actually think, we're talking about Brock Purdy and does he deserve this or that. You know who I'm looking at? Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
Like,
totally
that's
fair.
If we're going to have one of those, like, that is a dude that is going to have a Cooper Kupp-like year.
3537 responded, put him on the Houston Texans and watch him play every week. No, totally fair. And he's got an embarrassment of riches, and I acknowledge that. Do you think he'd be a horrible quarterback if he was on the Texans? I do not. Look, it kills me to love on a 49er. This isn't my team, my guy. I just, it's how I see it. But I appreciate if you totally disagree, as that texter does. It's the opening drive. We're going to wrap it up. Everything you got to know going into Thursday Night Football on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday Night Football.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
And it'll be the Diamondbacks in the National League Championship Series against the winner of tonight's Phillies-Braves game. Phillies over the Braves. Actually, not even tonight. It's 2-1. If the Phillies win tonight, they move on. Phillies lead that series 2-1, and we'll try to close them out tonight in Philadelphia. And then the Astros, for the 7th year in a row, are in the American League Championship Series. They finish off the Twins last night, 3-1 in Minneapolis. And so it'll be all Texas, Houston versus the Rangers in the American League Championship Series. You get Thursday night football tonight, National Football League right here on the Sports Animal. The Denver Broncos will take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Travis Kelce, questionable for the defending champs. And last night down in Las Cruces, the Aggies improved to 4-3 on the season, 2-1 in Conference USA, with a 27-13 victory over Sam Houston. Aggies were up 27-0 at halftime, and the offense sputtered in the second half, but they had enough. Diego Pavia, 20 for 36, throwing the football for 286 yards. 2 touchdowns, did not throw an interception. He also ran the ball 15 times for 115 yards and another score. So the Aggies win. Jerry Kill is their head coach, and he is scheduled to be with us on the Sports Animal tomorrow at 7:15. Anything I missed as far as what people have to know as they go through their days?
It is being reported that Taylor Swift will be at the game tonight, so I'm guessing Kelce plays.
So that's a pretty good determiner, huh? Okay. So I need fantasy advice, boys. I mean, what do I do with that tight end, that flex spot? Do I go and play him, Travis Kelce, or do I move one of the? I got who's on the bench? I mean, right now, Austin Eckler or Jordan Addison, Zay Flowers on the bench can move into that spot. What do you do?
What's scoring?
It's a PPR, and it's a high. You know, one of those you get points for everything league.
You get Eckler, Addison, Flowers. How I'd rank them.
Well, I also got Keenan Allen and Garrett Wilson. Why kick Garrett Wilson out of there?
I think you bench Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I'm putting. Well, I just put Addison in for him. Yeah, that's easy.
Not playing Austin Eckler just seems crazy.
Well, I got to play him somewhere. So what I'll do is I'll put him in for either Kamara or Etienne, right? I got good issues, boys.
Fantastic option.
I know I got good issues on this team. All right, 505-246-0610 if you still want to get in, 888-922-0610. See, did I get to all? Oh no, I didn't get to all your correspondence. Let me hit you. You got us on the emails. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com and JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. On Purdy, AC says that person sounds like a bitter Cowboy fan that says Purdy is not an MVP candidate. Maybe, I don't know. But I mean, his point of putting him on the Texans and see what he looks like is a fair one. We're starting quarterback cap shape. The Denver Broncos or the Dallas Cowboys, Jeff. I think we're seeing now why you don't lock these bad contracts. It's fair. Thank you to who's with us today.
It's the Denver Broncos.
Yeah,
by 800 miles.
Sayer Riley was with us. You can listen to that with the Lobo linebacker. That's available wherever you get podcasts. Jerry Palm was with us as well. Another really good conversation with JP. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On comes your way at 4, and then Thursday Night Football after that. You guys want to do this again tomorrow?
Yep.
All right. Adrian, DC, great work. Big day for you.
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other. Please be kind, loving, caring, and sharing, and then we'll smell you tomorrow.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us, and my wife, and our daughter, they didn't make it.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.